was really intrigued by this question about how do we practice Sabbath corporately, maybe a church or ministry, some larger body of individuals collectively. How do we practice and encourage Sabbath? And um, I would say again, it's a thing with great difficulty. But let me step back for a moment. The reason our culture is so busy is it's just part of the I think in many ways part of the culture that's lost its sense of identity, that we're children of God, beloved children of God, that our value consists not in our productivity, but in our relational, this deep relationship, in relationships with others, relationship with God. I think that's been lost. Somewhere along the line, Christians individually and Christians corporately have made a pact with the larger culture. We've come into a deep agreement without intending it or without sort of thinking it through, but there's a kind of, we've bought into the conspiracy that our worth depends on our productivity. And so I think the beginning place of getting, releasing whole organizations towards fervent or robust Sabbath practice is bringing those assumptions to the surface and prophetically critiquing them. I mean, in a lot of ways, that's really what we have in the culture of Pharaoh and Egypt. It's a total work culture. If you complain about it, they'll just make the work worse. And so after several hundred years of that, people have very much defined themselves by their productivity. And then suddenly they're free of it. And they're brought into this place of primary relationship with God. They're brought into, again, a face-to-face encounter with living God in worship, in his guidance of them. And then he brings them these commandments, not as ways of earning the relationship, but of ways of living deeply into the relationship that's already been given by God. And at the heart of them is a Sabbath commandment. Well, it's a prophetic critique of pharaonic Egyptian culture, where now we have this sweeping gift of, and make sure that you keep the Sabbath for you and for your children and for your maidservants and your men servants and any foreigners in your midst, and even your donkeys and cattle and whatnot. So countercultural. And so I'm just thinking the church really needs to recover that, or ministries really need to recover that. And I don't think just to kind of figure out this issue from a technical or strategic point of view is going to have any effect or benefit until we've brought those assumptions to the surface and subjected them to that biblical and prophetic critique.